Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered where it all came from? Not just the stars, but our own planet, this blue marble we call home. Gravity, the universe's ultimate sculptor, began to pull tiny particles together. Think of it like snowflakes clumping into a snowball, but on a planetary scale. These particles collided, stuck together, and over millions of years grew into larger and larger bodies called protoplanets. Our Earth was one of these baby planets. In its infancy, Earth was anything but the peaceful world we know today. It was a hellish, molten sphere glowing red hot. Why so hot? Because it was under constant bombardment. Asteroids and meteorites, some as large as small planets, relentlessly slammed into its surface. Each impact released an incredible amount of energy, enough to keep the entire planet in a liquid molten state. During this chaotic time, there was no solid ground, no air to breathe, and definitely no water. It was a world of fire and rock, a place where life was impossible. But this violent beginning was setting the stage for something incredible, and then came the big one. The most accepted theory today is called the giant impact hypothesis. It suggests that a Mars-sized object, which scientists have named they, collided with the young Earth. This wasn't just a bump. It was a cataclysmic, planet-altering. The impact was so immense that it blasted a huge chunk of Earth's molten material into orbit. Over time, gravity worked its magic again, pulling this debris together to form our companion in the sky, the Moon. The Moon's gravitational pull acts like a stabilizer, keeping Earth's axis from wobbling wildly. This stability is a key reason why our planet has such a relatively predictable climate over long periods, which is crucial for the development of complex life. Without the Moon, Earth might have been a much more chaotic and inhospitable place. After the Moon's formation, things slowly started to calm down. With fewer massive impacts, Earth began to cool. A thin solid crust started to form on its molten surface, like the skin on a cooling cup of hot chocolate. But the planet was still very active. Volcanoes erupted all over the surface, spewing out massive amounts of gas. These gases, mostly water vapor, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen, began to form Earth's first, or primordial, atmosphere. It was nothing like the air we breathe today. It was thick, toxic, and would have been unbreathable for us. As the planet continued to cool, a critical tipping point was reached. The water vapor in that thick, early atmosphere started to condense, and then it began to rain. But this wasn't a brief shower. It was a torrential downpour that lasted for millions of years. This epic rainfall filled the basins and low-lying areas of the new crust, slowly forming the first oceans. The arrival of liquid water was a game changer. It transformed the barren, rocky surface of our planet and created the perfect chemical soup for the next incredible chapter in Earth's story. With oceans now covering the globe, the stage was set for the miracle of life. A few 100 million years after Earth formed, deep within these ancient seas, the first simple life forms appeared. We're not talking about fish or plants yet, but incredibly simple, single-celled organisms. How exactly this happened is still one of the biggest mysteries in science, but we know it did. These tiny microbes were the ancestors of every living thing that has ever existed on this planet, including you and me. From these humble beginnings, life began its long, slow journey. For billions of years, it remained simple, but it was busy. These early organisms started to change the planet. Some of them developed a new trick: photosynthesis. They learned to use sunlight to create energy, and as a byproduct, they released oxygen. This process, over hundreds of millions of years, slowly transformed our atmosphere, pumping it full of the oxygen that larger, more complex life would eventually need to breathe. So, from a spinning cloud of dust and gas, to a molten ball of fire, to a water world teeming with simple microbes, our planet has undergone an incredible transformation. It took billions of years of cosmic collisions, volcanic fury, and persistent patient life to create the world we live in today. When we study this deep history, it's not just an academic exercise. It gives us a profound sense of perspective. It shows us how a series of fortunate events and delicate balances created this oasis in the vastness of space. Understanding the 4.5 billion year journey of our planet reminds us of just how precious and perhaps how fragile our home is. Every mountain, every ocean, and every living creature is a part of this long and epic story. It's a story that we are now a part of, and it's our responsibility to ensure it has a bright future. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey through deep time. If you found this as fascinating as I do, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about our amazing universe. See you in the next video. Have you ever looked at an old family photo and thought, wow, that was such a long time ago? Maybe it was from 100 years back, a time that feels ancient to us. We measure our lives in years and decades, and our entire recorded history spans just a few thousand years. But what if I told you that our entire existence, every king, every empire, every invention, is just a fleeting moment in the grand timeline of our planet? Today, we're going on a mind-bending journey to compare the tiny scale of human history with the colossal expanse of geological time. It's a comparison that will change the way you see yourself and your place in the universe. Let's start with what we know: human history. We think in terms of centuries and millennia. The Great Pyramids of Giza, about 4,500 years old. The Roman Empire. It rose and fell over about 1,000 years. The Industrial Revolution, which completely reshaped our world. It kicked off less than 300 years ago. In our personal lives, a century feels like an eternity. For our societies, a few thousand years are enough to see languages born and die, civilizations rise to glory, and crumble to dust. This is our frame of reference, the world we understand. It's filled with rapid, dramatic change, driven by human culture, innovation, and ambition. This is the timescale of humanity. Now, let's zoom out. I mean, way, way out. Welcome to the geological timescale, the Earth's own personal diary, written in stone, ice, and fossils. This story isn't measured in centuries. It's measured in millions and billions of years. Our planet is roughly 4.5 billion years old. That number is so huge it's almost impossible to truly comprehend. Geologists, the historians of the Earth, have broken down this immense timeline into manageable chunks, eons, eras, periods, and epochs. Each division marks a massive planet-altering event, a major shift in the climate, a change in the continents, or a dramatic turn in the story of life itself. Think about the dinosaurs. The Jurassic period, famous for giants like the Brachiosaurus, lasted for about 56 million years. The Cretaceous period, home to the mighty T-Rex, went on for another 79 million years. The entire reign of the dinosaurs spanned over 150 million years. If you compare that to the 150 million year reign of the dinosaurs, our time on this planet has been incredibly short. You'll have to wait until November for that. The dinosaurs the founding of the pyramids, the life of Julius Caesar, the Renaissance, the World Wars, all of it happens in the final seconds before the clock strikes midnight. We are, quite literally, a blink of an eye in geological time. This perspective isn't meant to make us feel insignificant. Instead, it should fill us with awe. For billions of years, our planet was a dynamic, ever-changing world, completely devoid of humans. Continents drifted apart and crashed into each other, creating massive mountain ranges. The climate swung wildly between scorching hothouses and globe-spanning ice ages. Life itself endured at least 5 mass extinction events, where more than 75% of all species on Earth were wiped out, only to bounce back with new, incredible forms. These colossal, slow-moving processes are what set the stage for our existence. The oxygen we breathe was painstakingly produced by ancient bacteria over billions of years. The fertile soil we use for agriculture is the product of eons of rock weathering and biological decay. The stable climate we've enjoyed for the last 10,000 years, which allowed agriculture and civilization to flourish, is just a brief, lucky interlude in Earth's much more turbulent history. We didn't create this world. We inherited it. We are the beneficiaries of an unimaginably long and complex natural history. Understanding this deep time gives us a profound sense of connection to our planet. It's a humbling realization that humanity is not separate from nature, but is deeply intertwined with it, a product of its long, slow evolution. Every rock, every mountain, every ocean tells a story that is billions of years old. When you stand at the edge of the Grand Canyon, you're not just looking at a beautiful landscape. You're looking at a cross-section of 2 billion years of Earth's history, layer by layer. But this new perspective also comes with a great responsibility. While human history is short, our impact is not. In just a couple of centuries, a mere microsecond in geological time, we have managed to alter the planet's climate, change the chemistry of the oceans, and trigger what many scientists are calling the sixth mass extinction. The plastic we create today could become a distinct layer in the rock record for future geologists if there are any to find millions of years from now. Our blink of an eye is leaving a permanent mark. The geological timescale teaches us humility. It shows us that the Earth system is powerful, ancient, and operates on scales we can barely imagine. It reminds us that the stable, hospitable world we depend on is not guaranteed. It's a precious gift forged over billions of years. Realizing our small place in this vast timeline isn't discouraging, it's empowering. It calls on us to act not just as temporary inhabitants, but as responsible custodians of a planet that took 4.5 billion years to become our home. We are a brief but brilliant flash in the long, dark night of deep time. Let's make sure our light shines for as long as possible. Thanks for joining me on this journey through time. If this blew your mind, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the wonders of our world. What other mind-bending topics should we explore next? Let me know in the comments below. See you next time.